Hi everyone, welcome to this Q&A session. I'm Hampus from Axess Lab. I think it says Erik Gustafsson on Zoom, but I'm using his account. But glad to see so many here. It seems like it's 72 people at the moment and people are dropping in all the time. We're recording this session as well, so if you missed it or have a colleague who's missed it, they can check it out later. But we're here with a special guest, Torbjörn. I'm a bit starstruck because he's a famous person here now in Sweden. He's been on news shows and lately a large YouTuber, Mauri, was interviewing him. So he's big amongst the younger generation as well, the TikTok generation. And today we are going to talk to Torbjörn about mostly how you use tech and how you, your relationship to apps and websites and that sort of thing, which I don't think you've talked so much about publicly. So that would be interesting. We've gotten a few questions beforehand. We're going to start off with those. If you have questions, you can write them in the chat and we might get to some of them. And if we don't get to them, we'll post Torbjörn's social media and website at the end so you can contact him afterwards as well. Awesome. Hope everyone is excited for this. And but yeah, let's start. Torbjörn, do you want to introduce yourself and talk a bit about who you are and that sort of thing?
Absolutely. Hello, everybody. Every time I need to speak English, I need to start with a joke. Okay. A professor once said that the biggest language in the world is not English. No, it's bad English. And my English is not so good. I believe it's helpful, but not so good. So please have some patience with me, especially when it comes to very hard words and things like that. I need to explain what happens here because it's not only me and Hampus here. It's one person also, and it's not my bodyguard. Even though it looks like a bodyguard, she's my deafblind interpreter, and she will make this happen today, make me a part of this situation here. So with two kinds of communication, two ways of communication, she will make me a part of this situation and be participating today. So we can show you a little bit first what happened. This is called tactile sign language, Swedish tactile sign language. And that means I read Swedish sign language in my hand. Exactly. She's talking with me now, but so that's how I communicate with getting the words to me. That all the people that speak goes through my interpreter and into my hand. And then she also used another technique called social haptic communication. And that means that she gives signals on my body. For example, if I turn around, she gives some feedback on my back. And on exactly, so there is point his head. Yeah. And this communication is the visual part. So everything visual that happens here, I get on my body, and then I can understand what's happening around. Pretty cool. Great. Now I let her go into her role today and as an interpreter. I think it's a quick story about me, who I am, is really important. Yeah. I was not born deafblind. I got deafblindness in the middle of my life when I was 28 years old. And that is by a mutation in the gene called Usher syndrome. And I point that Usher is not the Usher, the R&B artist from USA, but it's this after a doctor called Charles Usher in the beginning of the 19th century, who realized that there was a connection between hearing and vision loss in this genetic disorder. And that made me, I was born with a hearing impairment. So I've been hard of hearing all my life. But when I was young, there was a very big focus on that I should speak well. So I had a lot of speech teachers, speech coaches that learned me techniques of how I should speak very well instead of just talking sluggish. So therefore I can talk really well today. And later on in my life, I didn't know I had a problem with my vision. I was 28 years old when I got my diagnosis. And the life before, I drove a truck and lived a freely life as a motorcycle driver and everything. So then my life changed totally. And then I went from the practical, physical world into more the digital world. And that just happened because of the situation I went into as deafblind. Yeah. So
very nice, very nice. Thanks for the introduction. And I guess some of you joining here were at Spotify yesterday and got to hear about some of your journey and your relationship to technology and so on. And I'd like to start there because you talked a bit about the technology you use and you showed a Braille display. And can you tell us a bit about how do you use a computer when you can't see or hear? For everyone who weren't there as well. Yeah.
Absolutely. The main thing I use today is something called a Braille display. And that means it's a small device with, I don't know how to say, but machinery inside of it that puts up the dots so I can read with my Braille, with my finger. And the cool thing with that is also that I can write with it. And I write in Braille and then translate to regular text. And that's a device connected to my smartphone or to my computer with the Bluetooth and using the voice over function. So if you only are blind and you have good hearing, then you can use something called voiceover. That means it reads out loud what's on the screen. But instead of reading out loud, because that's not useful for me, it goes by signal to the display, and there I can read with my fingers and get to know what's on the screen and what people are writing. Yes.
Awesome. Yeah. Awesome. And how much do you use laptop or computer versus like your phone, and in which situations you use them?
Oh, in everyday life, absolutely. The computer, I mostly enjoy the computer because there's a great thing. I can use several things at the same time with the computer. I can use a regular keyboard. I could use my mouse. I could use my Braille, and at the same time. So that works in the same time. But on the smartphone, you can't use the fingers on the screen then you only need to use the Braille display, and that can be sometimes a little bit difficult because you have to jump to the menus all the time, and it can take some time to get where you want to. But instead I use my voice because I have my voice. I can use the phrase "Hello Siri." Hope I don't start any device down in here, but and get quicker to the part that I need to read with my finger. So I use different kinds of technique. And if I want to write text, I can use my voice, use my Braille, but I can also use a regular keyboard if I want to, because I've been doing that a lot. So.
And I see you have a watch on as well. Tell us a bit about how you use is it the Apple Watch? Yeah.
Oh, I love my Apple Watch. One thing that's really, really cool with the products I have is that you can put individual vibration signal of things that happen. It vibrates with different vibration of what's happening. So mainly I use my Apple Watch for location, GPS and stuff like that. I use it for training. Absolutely use it for training. I register everything I do, just to get a picture of how much movement I have in my life. And then I also use to send messages. And I can also connect my Braille to my watch. Also, so I don't need to have my smartphone with me. I can only take with my Braille display and use my watch. And then I have also what do you call it, a cellular that's connected also with the internet directly. And those things I think is the mainly thing. And the great thing about this product is that I can put a different vibration signal to different people. That means I have special vibration signal if my girlfriend contacts me or my mother contacts me. You know the person you need to right away answer, and then I know, oh, that was for my daughter or my son or my mother. No, I need to stop and read what's happening, and then those people that I can answer a little bit later when I'm home again, or then I have a standard vibration signal. So I use a lot of vibrations and feedbacking, and that's great because the watch and the mobile feedbacks also when I use my voice, so I know has understood what I'm telling.
Okay, interesting. And I know we have a lot of people in the audience who are either working in like the banking sector or e-commerce, like shopping online. So maybe start with the banking sector. Do you do like your banking errands online, and how does that work for you?
Well, mainly it depends on what I'm doing, but I can use the application, of course, with my Braille. And one important thing that I like now is that the BankID, the identification thing we have for these kind of areas, I can use facial ID. That's one thing I can take away the thing that I need to use my fingers to punch in the code. That's one really good thing to use. And if it's a more complicated thing I need to do on my bank, I go to the website.
So sometimes you use your phone as well, and sometimes you use
absolutely. Yeah, both. I do both. And it depends on what I need to do. If it's just I need to transfer between accounts, maybe. Then I can use it in the smartphone pretty simply. But if I need to put in a new account, maybe it's easier to use the computer in that case. So both.
Yeah, it sounds like with most other people as well.
Exactly. Yeah.
What about shopping online? You do that, and yeah, how does that work? Let's say clothes shopping, for instance, or things like that.
Well, there is a big difference there, because when it comes to visual things like pictures of clothes, then I get then I realize I get a huge handicap, because that's when the Braille can't read the pictures. And now we have started much more with AI that can translate and visual interpret pictures. So it's getting better, but mostly I need to ask maybe my girlfriend or how does this look? Is it look okay? And so there I wish it would be more possible to get some more information about the pictures. Can decide which color. I didn't know which color I had today, so that's one. So, but I was spoken. It was gray green, I think olive green maybe. So there's because that's important for me, because I have lived a life as a seeing person before. So those things doesn't disappear. I mean, for me, it's important to look well dressed when I'm in this situation, and then I need to know that what color and how this looks.
How about other types of shopping online? For instance, if you shop electronics or you shop, I don't know, food, groceries.
Technical stuff, definitely, because the technical stuff I can get much information to the text before. And there is not so much design in that way, is how it would look. It's more what I can use it for. But clothes and so on, I often go to the physical store because with my girlfriend or somebody else. And grocery, that's not my part anymore, because I have a relationship and she controls the grocery. So I have dropped that thing many years ago. But it's important, and I can see the situation with especially with food, because it's easy to get food poisoning if you don't have control of how the food is and what the dates are on expiry date and so.
Okay, interesting. I'll look for some other questions that have been sent in before. From Claudio, we had a question: which app or platform for communication do you prefer to use with close friends and family?
Oh, if we are in the same building, we use sign language and direct contact. But if we're not in the same building, we use text message mostly. Text message is outstanding. Man, it's quite interesting, because I have learned to use emojis and smileys a lot to make the text a little bit more feelings in the text. That I didn't do before, but now it's quite important to add emoji. And the fun part with emojis is that when I get a lot of emojis, my Braille translated to what the emoji has for code, what it has for name. Like the red heart is in the Braille red heart. So if somebody sends me like 5 red hearts, then it's red heart, red heart, red heart, red heart, where I get the picture.
Okay.
So, but I use often smileys and stuff like that to empower the message a little bit and make it clear if I'm happy or if it's a negative message.
Interesting. All right, let's take another question. I see it's 140 people here in the meeting now, so quite a lot of people joining.
Hey, awesome.
Yeah.
Hello, everybody.
From Madeleine, what are your biggest frustrations with technology, apps, websites, and that sort of thing?
Well, I think it's something that I can't escape from. And it's when you need to use the tactile sense, you can't hurry. It is impossible to stress or hurry. And that was kind of difficult in the beginning because I would like everything to look quickly and so that could be a quite. Now I'm getting better and take this time that I need to take and have a greater system to find quicker ways to do things today and prioritize. But I think the greatest frustration is also when you maybe has to do something and it's not available. That doesn't have the accessibility in the ground set of the page or that. That's frustrating. And one of the pages that I am quite annoyed is the biggest what do you call it, the medical page 1177. And there they have, if you need to book a time, they have, I don't know what's word in English, but rolling list with the time that you scroll the time. That doesn't, the Braille can't find it. So when I need to book a time, I can't even go in there. They can't read it. So what's the point with that? And that's one of the biggest pages in the world that is for healthcare. That's really important for anyone to get the doctor's appointment. So that's frustrating.
Interesting.
That's really frustrating. Yeah.
So the drop down in the booking code doesn't work, or the time picker or something.
No, and pages that are, because I need to jump at every menu on a page. So a page that have a lot of things. That can be quite annoying because I need to jump to every, if I use my smartphone, then I need to jump for every section on the page. And that means, well, it takes 3 hours to get down to the right place. And that can be quite frustrating sometimes. But that's how the visual world works. Puts a lot of stuff in so you can see it with your eyes. So.
Do you have any way of navigating the page not by going through everything? I know some people jump through headings, rubriker, and so on.
Well, you find shortcuts, and when you learn how it looks like on a page, then you can cheat a little bit. For example, when I use a Facebook app, then you have up the first you have the main menus and down on the way on the bottom are the quick links for something. And the second way down and the second from the right is notice center where you get notification if you have that. So now I know I put my finger down in the right corner and I would get the thing at the right, and then I can jump to left one time and then I go straightly to notification. That's how I can do it.
Interesting.
Thank you.
Cool. Let me see in the chat here. Here's one other question on social media from Leticia. What kind of information sources do you prefer? Oh, what's that one? No, sorry. Andrea said, do you use any social media? If so, what's your favorite type of content?
Of course I use social media. And for me, as a deafblind person, that is my way to interact with the surrounding world. Because it's kind of harsh situation in Sweden now when we don't get the right help anymore and the right support. So social media is so important to me. It's a way for me to keep contact with other people and other people with the deafblindness also and friends and everything, and also on a way to interact with the surrounding world and to spread knowledge and use well, I maybe don't take a photo of what I'm eating, but I take a lot of pictures of my everyday and share with my friends, and then I have an opportunity to discuss it. So I use it, absolutely. And I think Facebook and Instagram, are mainly those that I use. And then, of course, I've recently started to learn LinkedIn also, because I realized that in the business world, it's an important place to be. So yeah, I use them and I appreciate it. And then sometimes they do a huge update or change, and then it's going back to zero again, and you have to learn everything. So it takes some time, but I appreciate it really much. I really do. I think it's a great way, instead of just being alone all the time, I have some place to go and be a part of it. Yeah.
And a follow up to the Instagram, it's very visual, obviously, lots of videos and images and so on. How do you interact with those? You read the descriptions, or do you have like AI go in and interpret it to you?
Great. Well, it's kind of a mixture. If somebody really wants me that I need to see something, they can tag me and then they can explain. And sometimes I ask for help for that, and sometimes maybe I can use AI if possible. And then I mostly focus on the text. I mostly focus on that. And some people, thank you to you, are really good that write a lot of text with the video, with the picture, and then I can get some information from there and so on. But those who only put up a picture of something and then hashtag one word, well, maybe kind of hard for me to get something positive about that. But that's a way of communication in that also. It is. So you can interact with people and also send message to the message function.
Interesting. Let me take the question from Laetitia as well. What kind of information sources do you prefer on news websites? Do you have tricks to scan longer pages, for example, finding a summary or something?
You have to repeat. I think I lost the. Repeat again the question. Yeah, please.
Should I do it in Swedish maybe?
No.
Okay. In English. What type of information sources do you prefer on news websites? News websites, do you have ways to summarize?
Okay. I use the pages that have most availability to my Braille. So for instance, like Aftonbladet, yes, pretty simple. They have some commercial in the middle, but often it's in the smartphone version is I don't know how to say it, but it's like staples like this. So it's pretty simple to go to the first main article, and that's good in the world because I need to get the main theme. Hey, that was interesting. Well, I continue to read that article. And if I get the information in the first click, it's awesome because I don't need to read a lot of unnecessary text. And okay, Trump is going to destroy the world. Okay, this is interesting. Then I click there and then I can go on and read the article. But to get into the main theme makes it easier for me.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you. Let's see, we'll take one more here from the chat. What type of entertainment do you like, and what works good or bad with either interpreters or technical aids like your Braille display? Like TV, books, games, live sports?
Okay. Okay, which entertainment then? Okay. Well, I think text is the best way to entertain myself because text has so much possibility to put information in, but also jokes and everything. So I mostly enjoy text. I do, and that's the easiest way for me. But well, we live in a wonderful area, and I have two young kids at home, and they are really good to explain to me when something funny happens. So I get the information through them also, especially when it's TikTok or that kind of young media thing. There I get the information there. So I must say, a lot of people around me are really good to inform me what's happening. So I get most information by them seeing something and then explain to me or tag me and stuff like that. So, but if I wouldn't have this network around me, yeah, I probably would miss even more things and miss things that happen. So I'm really grateful for that. I am.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah.
And on that theme, like, do you watch videos sometime online? How does that work for you? And I guess texting, what's that called? Captioning and things like that. Can you access that through your Braille display? And
No, if there's something I really want to see, maybe I can ask my girlfriend or an interpreter, and they get a visual translate or stuff like that. And even when I have a little bit more eyesight before, I miss so much. So even though I could see something, I miss the point. So therefore, I quickly realized that I need to have some kind of interpretation of this media and stuff. That's the most common way I do it at home.
Yeah.
Absolutely, but then it's funny if it's old clips that I have from my earlier life, then I see it inside my head. So I enjoy like old clips that I have seen before, and I can make it like a video inside my head. So if that gets up, then I know exactly what happens. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So let's say watching a movie, you will do that together with an interpreter, and you will get that interpreter to you just like
I don't get in it. I can't book, but if I in a situation I have a interpreter like this today, maybe I can ask in that situation. But it's kind of hard rules today when to get this great helping aid.
All right, let's see. Yesterday, so someone was at the meetup yesterday. You mentioned that internet brought you close to other people with deaf blindness in the community. Do you have certain activities regularly online or in person?
No. Yeah, absolutely. We have this organization for people with deaf blindness, but on the internet, it's mostly just to have some kind of interaction, but also information sharing. And one of the reasons I started with Apple products was that I got tips to internet from other people with deaf blindness that was tipsing me that these are great products for you that you can use. So we have some kind of like, sharing information and how are you and that interaction is awesome because we are mostly widely spread around the country also. I don't think I have any person nearby living me. Yeah, we have some in Helsingborg, but mainly we're spread out in the society. We have not so many people. I mean, in Sweden, we count about 2,000 persons with deaf blindness, different kinds of deaf blindness, because it's a spectrum. You can be born deaf and get the vision part later on, or you can be born hard of hearing like me. So it's a huge spectra inside of this team of deaf blindness. So about around 2,000 persons and around 800 people with that disorder that I have, this genetic mutation.
Yeah. All right, interesting. Let me see. Let me take another one here. What do you and your interpreter usually do to get familiar with each other if you meet for the first time?
Well, I think I can write a book about this because there's so much things around it. But this is how it works. In Sweden, we have different regions of Sweden have an obligation to provide deafblind and sign interpreters for people that are deaf or having deaf blindness. That's for free in what you call in everyday situation. But the point is you need to communicate with somebody. So I can't get an interpreter to go and buy milk, for example. And stuff like that. So and that sounds really good, absolutely. But that's not how it works today. Today it has so many rules to save money, and you don't get interpreters so much anymore. Today. I have Cecilia here, Cecilia, and she She is one interpreter I have many times before, mainly in work situation. And she is paid by me today to be here today. So I don't get free interpreter for this kind of a mission. That's how the rules look today. If I get any relation with them, well, you kind of do. Okay. Well, how? No, I get the interpreters from ordering from so I don't get to know them before, but we getting to know each other under the time on. You mean we get many missions that we work together, and some of the interpreters you get to know a little bit more. So that's how it works. But I think this needs to be pointed out that this is a kind of a working relationship that we have. So I don't fall in love with everyone with the interpreters I have, even though my girlfriend is an interpreter. So sometimes it happens also. Yeah.
Nice. And there's another question on that. Do you speak multiple variants of tactile signing or only Swedish?
Say that again.
Do you speak multiple languages of sign language or just Swedish?
Oh, no. I'm so new in this, so I haven't gotten the opportunity to learn. And I would like to clarify that because that's a regular misconception about it. Sign language is just like national Swedish. Swedish talks in Swedish. In Germany, they have German sign language. In USA, they have American sign language. And by the way, this sign, I love you, is from the American sign language. So I love you. But in the world of deaf and people who use sign language, and they're also using British or American sign language just the same way we do speak English today. So there's a way to communicate between people from different countries, absolutely. But I haven't learned it, so I'm not there yet. But maybe later. So this is Swedish.
So now when I speak, your interpreter signs in Swedish to you, like translates from English to Swedish.
Exactly. And there happens a lot of things here. You speak English, she translates from English to Swedish Sign Language. I get the Swedish Sign Language and think in English and answer you in English. So wow! And they say that guys can't do two things at the same time. We can.
Yeah.
We can.
That's great. That's great. Nice. I know we have a couple of people here in the audience who work with what's that called? Smart home devices like robot vacuum cleaners, microwaves,
wow,
and that sort of thing.
Cool.
Do you use that type of technology yourself in your home? And in what way? So
I would gladly use it, but I don't have any that kind of devices. The only devices that I have that I'm using is for the lights at home. You know, like Wi-Fi connection in the wall for the power. There I get an application for that, so I can turn on and turn off light at home. That I use. I think that's amazing because the greatest way is to think about these apps that they need to be a little bit more simpler. And we was talking about accessibility before, and one thing I've always thinking about is that no one has complained about when it's very accessibility in it. No one has complained about it. I never met and heard of people that come to me and say, "Oh, it's so easy. I wish it wasn't so easy." So I think we need to have it from the beginning. So every developer or people who work with this needs to have it. Well, keep it simple. You can make it clean and wonderful and nice looking, but keep it simple because everyone can use that. And I know with my parents are pretty old now. Now I realize that it's getting quite hard, even with the simple things, like what I think is simple things with a smartphone. It's getting hard for them. So I think there's a broad group of people that can use this simpler technique. Absolutely.
And yesterday, you talked about how you were quite positive around technology. You said it makes your life more free and it gives you opportunity and stuff. Do you want to say some things about that again? How that has kind of enabled you to live more independent life?
Absolutely. Absolutely. When I got into this situation, as everybody else had gotten into this situation, started with the basic thing like searching for help, like getting the help from the state or government, and like personal assistant or a guidance person and stuff like that. And I realized really, really quickly that I didn't get the help that I wanted, and I should have, because that's in the law, in the Swedish law. So then I found out the other world, the digital world, and realized that at least there's something I can do there, and at least there's something I can be a part of there. So I realized pretty soon 3 words when I tried to summon all of this. And the first one is freedom. The freedom to be able to do things and to be able to communicate with people and to be a part of somebody else's world, even though it's through digital numbers. The second one is independence. And the internet and the possibility, like auditing that was spoken about before, that makes me independent in the way that I don't need to ask another person to help me with go to the grocery store or do like that. I can order it home instead. That independence is really, really important. But also opportunities. If it wouldn't be for internet, I wouldn't be standing here today. If I would have started my blog many years ago and talking how it is to get into my situation and get deaf blindness in the middle of my life, then I wouldn't be able here to have a lecture today. So that created so much opportunities for me. And also starting with the deafblind challenge team I have, where I make adventures as a deafblind person that no one has done before. So and spread knowledge and awareness. So it has been great opportunity for me to have that in my everyday life. And even though it's not perfect, it's at least something. It's something I can be at and be a part of, and that is so important for me.
Yeah, super good to hear. And I guess everyone who's working with technology now, I mean, you're trying to fix small issues all the time, but like in the large picture, it's a good thing that there is technology, and it enables you to do a lot of stuff you want to do.
Exactly. I mean, the independence part is so important, because when you can contribute back to the society, then you feel a part of the society. When you can do anything, well, that's when you feel quite handicapped. So for me, it's really important. But as I told you yesterday in the lecture, it's important not to forget the human part also. So I have a dream that it should be really good technique in the future, but also remaining the physical contact with a human being and the contact with human being, and combine these things so we get the best of 2 worlds.
Yeah, great. Thank you. A very specific question here. Have you ever reported an accessibility problem you encountered on the web or apps to the customer service?
Absolutely. Yeah, not the homepage, because maybe 11:27 that we talked about before. I think I have done that, but mostly discrimination things I have done, like to the Swiss Scandinavian Airlines, the SAS. I have shot them because I can't fly alone. They want me to have a person with them. And that's kind of funny, because if the plane would crash and be filled with smoke and no one can see it there, I think I have the best opportunity to get out of the plane. I do think though, because I have such a control of how it looks inside there and where everything is. So it's kind of funny, but that's one thing. So I do shot, but more practical thing, more physical thing that happens in the society. For example, now the Swedish government-controlled liquor store, Systembolaget in Sweden, has started a new rule that where if I had guided person with me and buying liquors or beer, then the guidance person needs to show his ID also. And that is so, I hate it. That's like can make a person smaller with a disability and stuff like that. I know where I am, and know where I'm at, and know what I'm doing. So please don't treat me like a child. So that is really, really important to church it.
Nice.
But web page is not so much, because I find other ways today to solve things.
More questions on websites. What is the one thing on a website that would make you feel like that website is user-friendly or good for people who are deafblind?
Absolutely. The pages that have more like undergroups. If you go to a homepage, there are 1,000 things that I need to go to 1,000 things. That becomes quite tiring. But if I come to a homepage that maybe have 4 menus at the beginning, what can we say for an example? I need to book a doctor's appointment time or something like that. Okay, then we have booking time at the first menu. Great, and then I can by 3 steps go to the and then click for the next level, and then click for the next level. That makes so much easier instead of having 1,000 things on the screen. And even though if you have leftovers in vision and poor eyesight, that is also very, very annoying when it's not clear and where things are or to find it on the screen.
So there needs to be some kind of structure and to make
structure, keeping it simple, but you can still make it the page look beautiful and do graphics. But important to make it a little bit simpler from the beginning. I think everybody should appreciate that. I mean, if you, Hampus, if you go into a web page, what would you like? 1,000 pieces? No, or maybe the first one to find it directly what you want to do.
I guess a related question to that, when visiting a website or app, can you tell quickly if you will be able to use it or not?
Yeah, that depends if the Braille can read the page. An example of this is just LinkedIn. They're having some problems right now. So I'm kind of frustrated with LinkedIn because I learned it. This doesn't connect. But I believe it's the application's fault, not the device, because it works with everything else in my cell. So that is one thing. And you realize pretty quickly if it can read, or it works, or if it's some kind of code that appears that is readable. So then you can realize quickly. But not so much. I don't think I'm in so much pages in that way. I'm not so in so many things. I have my little thing that I'm enjoying to go in and know works. So, but one thing is the scrolling list that we talked before. Then I realized, crap. That was important to do.
Yeah, interesting. Yeah, we can probably talk to them about looking into that issue there.
Good.
Let me see other questions. Yesterday we saw you driving a truck. As a passenger, do you use the controls in the vehicle, and how? Oh, like.
Okay. If you're talking about the helping aid, we have the great technology of the haptics that I was talking about. This vest and I don't know what to call it, but brace on the arm with vibration motors that they can control me with a screen on the smartphone, so they can control me by pointed direction or making letters or stuff like that. I also have another technique called ReadyRide. And ReadyRide is a device that is more not digital, more like I don't know what to call it, but the analog system. But you push a button, and then you have vibration motors in pencils that you put on your body. 4 pencils, and then they put 4 buttons to control me where I'm going and stuff like that. That's the technique I'm using in that situation. But in the video, I have an interpreter who was sitting beside me and showing the signal on my body.
Right. And when you are in the passenger seat, and let's say you want to change some radio station or do something on the display.
Well, I'm not doing that. Well, this was a very short time driving because I'm going one time a year. I go to this school that have kids and teaching to be truck drivers. And then after the lecture I have in there, then I need to then I get the opportunity to drive a little bit on the place. So I don't get to do a part to change radio station and things like that. I'm mostly driving and just enjoying that.
All right, thank you. That's great. Let's see.
I love all the questions coming in. Thank you, you all, just asking. Take the opportunity that you have today to send questions. Great.
There are some questions on AI, how you use it and how you would like to be able to use it. I think you talked yesterday about an app called Seeing AI as well. You want to tell us a bit about that then?
I can absolutely. It's a great app that called Be My Eyes. And Be My Eyes is awesome because the first thing that it started with, it was only directed to blind people. And the function was that there are volunteers all around the world that sign up for this service. And they sign up that when they have spare time, they click like, hey, we can take calls right now. And then the blind or visually impaired person can use the app and use the camera of the app to call a person and then showing by the camera of what they needed to be interpreted. Like I told you yesterday, if you need to find a flower in the grocery store, you can put up the camera and the person you're talking with are explaining, oh, the flower is to the right, and there you can take it. Then I realized that there was a text version also in it. So I can take a picture and then it will explain, and the AI will explain in text what I have in front of me. And one example I can use that for is when I'm alone, maybe waiting for some kind of taxi or anything like that, and feel like, I want to take a picture of what's around me right now. If somebody is standing close or I smell something funny or something like that. So take up the camera, hit the button, then I got the AI translating in the app how, oh, there's a strange looking guy with a funny hat standing 3 meters next to me. Oh, crap, I need to run. So that is a great technique. And I think that's mostly the area that I'm using AI for is visually interpreting.
You use it in your home to, I know some people read like the milk cartoon or what do you call it, konservburkar, like what's on the actual boxes and so on.
Yeah, okay, yeah. Exactly. I can use when I need to read like the date, expiring date on the milk bar. So that works awesome. That really works awesome. And I think that's a great future we have ahead of us with that technique. So I'm not so scared of Terminator coming back to it, this intelligence, but I think there's a great opportunity to make a lot of practical things that not necessarily you need a person to. Awesome, really awesome. Yeah. And also a little bit about safety, because if I can get the right information about this milk is not bad, then I don't get food poisoning. But of course I use this one also. You can feel a lot with this one. That's my secondary backup. Yeah.
And I'm thinking you are so interested in like driving and motorcycles, and you were a truck driver. Do you follow along in the self-driving car development and that sort of thing?
Not so much, and that is mostly because my emotions. I was so totally in love and with peace with doing what I did before. So after that, when I couldn't do it, then it got pretty painful for me to have a relation with something I can't be doing that I want to do, that what is my life call or something like that, my mission in life. So therefore I have not been so much focusing on that technique so much, but I do appreciate the thinking about self-driving cars, because I can see a future of it if I can maybe the possibility to have a self-driving car at home, and I can text down, I would like to go to the grocery store or something like that. Can jump into the car and the car drives me there. So maybe in the future that's a possibility. So, but not so much more about technique, about motor cars. And I'm thinking I'm getting pretty old. It's a long time ago. I drove lastly. I quit my job as a truck driver for maybe 13, 14 years now. Yeah.
All right.
So gone some time now.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right, let's take one or two final questions. We're approaching 2 o'clock here, but yesterday you told us about biking from Treriksröset to Smygehuk. A great job. I am curious about how you experienced going through Sweden on that trip. Did you use any technical tools or tactile communications, or did you only experience the biking through weather and wind?
Excellent. Awesome question. This is a kind of question I really love because this is my home area. I truly appreciate what I can get with the 3 senses that I have left. Smelling, tasting, and tactile. And that travel was really so much about how you feel the environment around. So I could smell a lot of things, I could feel a lot of things, the weather changes, the wind, I could smell the forest or cars or people and so that. So we didn't have so much communication when we were on the bike because they have to hold the steer so we not fall the bicycle road, but mostly felt a lot of things there. And when we stopped later on, then I could get some information about the places or maybe what we have been doing on the way. But I have a funny story about that. We were bicycling on the not motorway, but the main highway up called E4. And for those who now think, hey, you can't ride a bicycle on the freeway, but that's not true. If it's not a freeway or what you call special transportation, then you can ride a bicycle. There are rules about that. So we were bicycling. It was called coming to one road. That means you have one side and then you have 2 on the other side for different part. I was bicycling and asked my pilot, we call it pilot, who was sitting in the front. I asked my pilot, do we have a long queue behind us? Because we were, I think it was breaking up a lot of vehicles behind us. She told me, yeah, but not we. And I'm like, what? What not we? Well, there was a slow-moving youngster car, IPA, that can only drive in 30 with 2 kids in it in front of us. So we were the second one in that queue. So I didn't feel like I'm the reason that we have a long queue behind us. Well, it was those youngsters in front of us. So that's a cool thing that in that situation, get that information and can have a huge laugh about it. So the great memories. So that's how it worked. But and then we did this challenge. The mission was to do the challenge and to spread knowledge. So when you're on the bike and after like a week on the bike, you get pretty much, well, I need to survive. So it's a tough challenge, but really, I learned a lot from it. I did.
Nice. Okay, perfect. We're approaching 2 o'clock. If people found it interesting to listen to you or have questions, how can they get in contact? Do you have website, social media, and that sort of thing?
Yeah, the best way I think is the homepage. And the homepage is torbjrnsvensson.com without the dots on the O's and stuff like that. And Google, you can Google my name, Torbjörn Svensson, also you will find me. And I have Instagram, and there is called Att leva med RP. But you can also Google Torbjörn Svensson, you will find me there. And I have Facebook, of course, also. So please contact me. It would be a great honor to have contact with you and answer some more questions. I think curiosity is a great gift because then we can evolve and make things better in the future with the curiosity as well. So thank you very much. I'm so happy to be here today. It's been a great, awesome place to be at Axess Lab here in Stockholm.
That's great. That's great. And a lot of people saying thank you and giving hearts in the comments. And if you and if you guys like this sort of webinar, then yeah, tell us at Axess Lab and maybe we'll arrange more interesting guests to come to these types of Q&As. It seems like a lot of people joined at least, and you had some great questions. So thank you all for joining. I hope you have a great weekend and see you around.
Bye-bye.
All right, everyone saying thank you. Bye-bye.